You never called him. You never said a word. And yet, it happened. Most people believe their dog came because he wanted something: comfort, attention, food. But what if the real reason is the opposite? What if your dog doesn't come to take something, but to give it? Here's something most owners never realize. Your dog begins reading you before you even enter the room. Not when you sit down, not when you cry. Before that, through walls, through doors, through sound, scent, and something science still struggles to fully explain. When your emotional state changes, when cortisol rises in your body, when your breathing shifts, when your heartbeat slows under emotional strain, your dog notices. Not as an idea, not as a thought. To him, they're signals. A person experiencing emotional pain creates a biological signature, and your dog can smell it from another room. And here's the part most people miss. Your dog doesn't simply detect the change. He responds to it. Something begins changing inside him too. You think your dog listens to what you're saying. The truth is, that's not the most important part. He listens to how you say it, the pitch, the rhythm, the silence between your words. Researchers at Eötvös-Loránd University discovered that dogs process emotional vocal patterns in a brain region remarkably similar to the human auditory cortex. They don't simply hear sadness, they recognize it. When your voice loses energy, when your words become slower, when the space between them feels heavier, your dog's brain registers an emotional signal. Not language, emotion. And what researchers discovered next changed the way we think about what dogs have become to us. This is the part that continues to puzzle scientists. Dogs comfort distressed people, even though nobody taught them how. Throughout thousands of years of domestication, there is no evidence that humans intentionally bred dogs for emotional sensitivity. We bred them to hunt, to guard, to herd. And yet, something else emerged. Something nobody planned. A response to human suffering that cannot be explained by training alone. Not by instinct alone. And perhaps not by everything we currently understand. When you're hurting, your dog often seeks physical closeness. Researchers call this stress-related contact seeking. But that description feels strangely incomplete, because what we're really watching is something else. A living being choosing to remain with your pain, with you, without asking for anything in return. And the closer we look, the more mysterious it becomes. When your dog looks at you, really looks at you, your brain releases oxytocin, a chemical messenger that strengthens trust, closeness, and connection. One of the most powerful bonding responses the human brain can produce. But here's where it gets interesting. The same thing happens inside your dog. This mutual gaze, human to dog to human, is one of the most extraordinary bonding mechanisms ever observed between two different species. No other animal triggers this response in humans in quite the same way, and no other animal returns it so consistently. Wolves don't do this. Even hand-raised wolves usually avoid prolonged eye contact with people. Dogs, however, seek it, again and again. Over thousands of years, they evolved toward our attention, toward our faces, toward our eyes. And when you're sad, when your eyes become heavy, they seem to look even closer, as if they're searching for something we often fail to recognize ourselves. Science can explain how dogs detect scent. It can explain how they process voices. It can measure cortisol, analyze oxytocin, observe neural activity. It can explain the mechanism. But behind all those answers stands a question that no laboratory has been able to answer. Do they know? Not just detect, not just recognize, but understand? Is there something about being your dog that goes beyond scent, sound, and body language? When he crosses the room to find you in the dark, when he leans against you without being asked, when he stays, even though nothing is expected of him, is something happening there that we simply cannot measure? Every serious animal behaviorist will tell you to be careful here. And they're right. We shouldn't assign human thoughts to animals simply because we want them to be there. But at the same time, we are standing in front of something remarkable, because the evidence keeps pointing in the same direction. Dogs don't merely react to human sadness. It appears to matter to them. Study after study has shown that dogs pay significantly more attention to a distressed owner than to a distressed stranger, not because of a command, not because of a reward, but because of the relationship, because of a bond that has been forming for more than 15,000 years, a bond that changed both species, us and them. Tonight, when your dog finds you, when he crosses the room without being called, when he leans against you for no obvious reason, something is happening that took more than 15,000 years to create. A form of communication older than language, deeper than training, more precise than we fully understand. Science can tell you that your dog notices changes in your body, that he responds to your voice, that evolution shaped him to pay extraordinary attention to human emotions, but it cannot tell you what it means to your dog when he finds you broken and stays anyway. Maybe this is a question we were never meant to answer completely. Maybe that's why it continues to fascinate us. Because the more we learn about it, the larger the mystery becomes. He was never trained to find you in the dark. He was never taught to sit beside you when no one is watching. And yet he does, again and again. Not because he has to, not because he's rewarded for it, but because over thousands of years, something formed between our two species that we still cannot fully explain. Maybe dogs don't know exactly what sadness is. Maybe they don't understand it the way we do, but they seem to understand something else. That in those moments, we need them. And maybe that's all that ever mattered. Not because they understand every feeling, not because they know every reason, but because somehow, when the world becomes heavier, they move closer instead of away. For 15,000 years, we've been trying to understand dogs. Maybe the real mystery is that they've been understanding us long before we understood ourselves.